Yo, what's up everybody? It's Peace-Eye. Welcome to another video. I went to locals and I took Horus Light and Darkness Dragon Stun. And I went, I think X2. I think I got like 10th place. But the duels are up on the channel already. I just wanted to post a list before I take this apart. Shout out to Emmanuel for the deck idea. But yeah, let's just get into it and you guys can see the list. All right, so 41 cards in the main. We played a very heavy Horus package. We played 3 Imseti, 2 Happy, 1 Dumuatef, and then 1 Protection of Horus. Then we played, for the spell cards, the 3 King Sarcophagus, and then we maxed out on the field spell as well, 3 Walls of the Imperial Tombs. After that, we did play Terraforming to search that. So you wanted to get your Horus package as soon as possible because it just gives you a bunch of bodies, and it's a stun deck, so you just got to make sure that you have as much pushing force as possible, honestly. All right, next up, I did play another terraforming target. It's Mausoleum of the Emperor. So this basically lets you pay life points to normal summon without tributing. So basically you pay 2,000, and then you can summon your level 8 bodies for free. For consistency, I also played 2 Foolish Burial Goods. One of the main targets for Foolish Burial Goods was the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. You can also send a Rainbow Bridge of Salvation off of your King Sarcophagus as well, and then you can immediately banish it to search, which is even more copies of your field spell to get into combo. And then your target is the Crystal Beast Cobalt Eagle. You're supposed to play the level 8 Crystal Beast so that you can utilize it with trade-in this deck. But I didn't buy the structure deck, so I don't have one. But this came up twice in tournament, where I needed to normal summon this, and then use its effect to put it on top of my deck, so that the Rainbow Bridge was live, because you need to add both, and this is the only target in the deck, so I'm actually glad I played Cobalt Eagle instead of the level 8. The other target for the Foolish Burial Goods is Succumbing Song Morganite. Time Tearing Morganite is very good in this deck, so I wanted a way to search it. You can dump this and then banish it to add the Time Tearing Morganite to your hand. But yeah, this one gives you the ability to have 2 attacks and then double battle damage. And then this one lets you draw 2 cards instead of 1, and then you get 2 normal summons, which is actually crazy. You can end on a lot if you have access to these cards. So that's really good. Oh, also, you got to activate your Imseti from hand before you activate these, because you can't activate any hand effects for the rest of the duel when you activate these. All right, so next up is the boss monsters. So I played 3 Light and Darkness Dragon. So these are Emmanuel, so he let me borrow them. But basically, this acts as like 4 negates. It's mandatory, so it'll automatically reduce the attack and defense of your guy by 500, and then just automatically negate the activation of whatever your opponent is activating. So it's pretty cool. Another target, because I wanted to play more level 8 targets, I played 2 Vanity's Ruler. This is a decent floodgate. If your opponent can't special summon, they're not doing very much. And then finally, I played triple Lava Golem, just as a board breaker. Obviously, you won't get to normal summon the turn you use this, but you can at least use your Horus cards to try to establish some sort of a board. Because, yeah, going second is really terrible in this game. 2 Shufflers. Some of the lists that I saw online were playing the Shufflers, and they're decent cards to send off of King Sarcophagus. And Graveyard Disruption is very powerful anyway. Next up, this is one of the only decks where Pot of Desires is actually really good. I don't think I ever banished anything like too important, because you play 3 of everything that's really important. So yeah, this was really good all day. 3 trade-in for the draw power as well. You play a ton of level 8s, including the Lava Golems, your Lad, your Vanity's Ruler, all of the Horus monsters. So trade-in is crazy in this deck. Finally, Called by the Grave to protect your plays. Skill Drain, because you just have a bunch of big beaters, and there can be only 1, because surprisingly, everything's a different type in this deck. Like, it's crazy. You have Fairy, you have Dragon, you've got Winged Beast, Beast Warrior, and Spellcaster. Not one of the main deck monsters really matches any of the other ones that you want on field. And even in the extra deck, you have like a bunch of like warriors and stuff. So TC Boo is like amazing main deck because it beats most decks out there. All right, so extra deck, we played 1 Coach King Giant Trainer. If you don't have access to any one of your boss monsters, you can dig 3 cards deeper into your deck in order to achieve it. And the bonus effect does 800 damage for each monster that you draw, which is really nice. Next up is the number 90. If your opponent is like a monster-heavy deck and they've got a bunch of monster effects, or you're afraid of Nib and you have more gas, you can go into this, and this will allow you to negate one of their hand traps, their monster hand traps, while you're trying to go off. Number 38 is really good for redirecting attacks and also negating a spell card, which is nice. I went into Sanathon at least once, so this card's amazing. It's got a lingering effect like Abyss Dweller. Let me read it to you guys. So not only does it gain 100 attack and defense for each monster in the graveyards, once per turn you can detach material from this card until the end of your opponent's next turn. This card can't be destroyed by card effects. Also, neither player can special summon monsters from the graveyards. I use this against a Ryziel Mitsurugi strategy, and it really stifled their plays not being able to special summon from graveyard. And then also, they couldn't get over it with their detonator, because to even get to detonator, they ended up putting a bunch of monsters in the graveyard. So this was over 3,000 defense. Next up, Dingirsu. On summon, it can send, and then it's got the really great protection effect. By battle or card effect destruction, you can detach material to protect literally anything, including itself, which is broken. I opted to play number 84 Pain Gainer to just slap on top. It has a burn effect, but you really just use it if you have skill drain to slap on top the number 77. So it just becomes a 4,000 beater in a super simplified skill drain situation, game state. So that's what I ended up with for that. I played a Typhon and a Zeus as well. Plenty of Xyz monsters for Zeus, and you can make a really big Zeus with the 7 Sins. And then Typhon's just Typhon. All right, so that's all the XYZs. The rest is links. SP Little Knight. Emmanuel told me about the cool interaction with SP Little Knight and Light and Darkness Dragon. So basically, your opponent activates a bunch of effects, and then when you can't activate this anymore, or to protect it from getting outed. So like say that you do something, you use your last negate, and then they like chain something else. You can chain SP Little Knight to dodge. You won't get this effect off, but at least you won't like get your Light and Darkness Dragon outed. And then when it comes back to the field, it'll reset to 2,800 attack, which is really strong. So that's why you play SP Little Knight. I don't even think that combo was very good, so I didn't even go for it during the tournament. Link Spider, if you get nibbed, you can go into this. It gives you an effect monster, which can help out, get a monster out of the main monster zone, and also help you out with your access code talker since it's an Earth. You play Nightmare Phoenix for your fire, Nightmare Unicorn to climb up into your access code talker, and then the last spot was a flex spot. I chose to play Jump Scare, Underworld Goddess, just to out crazy stuff that you couldn't out with something else. It's good to have a bunch of outs to a bunch of your opponent's crazy stuff. All right, and then finally the side deck. I'm really proud of this. Amano Iwado is crazy, especially in this deck. You normal summon it, and then you basically just go off with your Horus package. You can out boards really easily. This also makes sure that you can't get drolled. And then since all the Horus monsters are inherent to special summons, it gets around the fact that you can't activate non-spirit monster effects. And in addition to that, you can set up your whole board, and then at the end phase, this will come back to your hand, and then your board is still alive. And then what I really like about it is if you can manage to get to either one of your Morganites, this one will banish itself to search out for the time tiering, and this will give you a second normal summon. So you use your first normal summon on this, and then you can use your second on either this or Vanity's Ruler, and then your opponent can't even activate their Nibiru because you'll either just negate it or they just plain can't activate it because they can't special summon, which is broken. Only you can special summon. So yeah, Amano Iwado is amazing in this type of strategy. Harpy's Feather Duster and Double Lightning Storm. 3 Forbidden Droplet. 3 evenly matched. And then 3 Judgment for going first. But yeah, I was just really proud of the Mono Iwado. Like that, I got into a grind game where I was normal summoning it for like 3 turns straight. It was hilarious. But yeah, that is the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. But like I said, if you're interested in the strategy, it's pretty cool. I did end up winning once or twice. But yeah, go check out the duels on the channel, and you'll be able to see it in action. So yeah, subscribe for more.